Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth and this is Best Bookish Reviews. And I've come to you today for some updating. I have my 50 and 50, but the books that I have, I no longer have any desire to read them. So I'm going to repull. I'm going to go with 25 prompts out of here. And then I think I will roll the dice. Hold on, let me get this. 10 times. And then I have a random prompt generator that we can look at and spin that a few times to get to 50. Unless I decide just to pull them all from here, and that would be all of my prompts. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I want to get books like that I'm interested in, because in June I turned 49. I will have 1 year to read these books, and it's going to be my newest project. So I guess I could. I'm not looking. Okay, so the first one we're going to redo helps you understand another culture. Originally, that was the Joy Luck Club. I don't even know where that book is. So this is what I'm doing. I am just putting the strips down for my number by my numbers. So we'll do 5 at a time. A novel that explores good and evil. So these aren't all 50 before 50, because this one is not one. A novel that explores good and evil. Could just tape them because I'll be writing them somewhere else if I knew where my tape was. Here we go. I'll have to put them in my new book journal that I am doing. I want these books to be from my shelf, because I'm trying to read down my shelf too. My physical TBR. Alright, next one is this one. Author shares your first name. I already know what I'm reading for this one, and it's going to be an Elizabeth Gaskell. So next one is, what's it gonna be? A nonfiction about health or the human body. And I do have one that I want to read this year. It is on my 26 and 26. So yeah, one more, and then I'm going to look for some. I actually am going to keep this one because it's a Jenna from Books of Jenna recommendation. So I'm going to keep this one because I didn't get to read it this winter. But it's a book with a wintry atmosphere, and it's Bellwether Rhapsody by Kate Reculia. So I'm keeping that one. So we'll go ahead and pull another one. There are a few that I will keep if they come out. All right, the next one is a non-fiction book. I'm going to start from the bottom because I know what I'm going to read for it. It's a non-fiction book. I'm going to read The Demon of Unrest by Erik Larson. And I am quite sure that this is a non-fiction. And so, yes, I have not started this book. that bookmark is just there just so I'll have a bookmark when I get started reading it. So this is number 6. Author shares your first name. I want to look up Elizabeth Gaskell's books. Oh, no, I don't need to. I know which one I'm going to get. So I'm going to put in Cranford. It will, yes, technically it will be a reread, but I listened to it and I don't feel like I got anything. And I really love North and South, and there was another one I read by her. But I really love those books, and I really want to give this another chance, so I'm going to treat it as a first read. I need to write these down. A novel that explores good and evil. Let me do some searches. Yes. This one for sure. Things Fall Apart. I do have this. By Chinua Achebe. Okay. They always put Harry Potter up there because it's such a good book for that. Is The Hobbit on there? Because, yes, I'm going to do The Hobbit. All right, and nonfiction about health or the human body. Oh, I know which one I'm going to do. I don't see. Oh, yes, The Glucose Revolution. I'm going to put it right here. I am going to begin a different eating habit. Okay, and then we know that Bellwether Rhapsody is the book with the wintry atmosphere. Okay. Next one is a novel with an unreliable narrator. You know who is good for unreliable narrators? And he has a new book coming out in August. Usually Riley Sager has unreliable narrators. It may just be in that one book, but I have found that they seem unreliable to me. Okay, we'll go with this one. All right. Comforts Your Inner Child. And I do have this one on my shelf, and I do want to read it because I've heard it's good, so I'm going to keep it. It is Emily of New Moon by Ellen Montgomery. I could be searching for the novel with novels with unreliable narrators. I think I have looked that one up before. Okay, number 9. I just grabbed a couple of them because I have 2 in my hand, so I have 9 and 10. I'm not going to use this one. Well, I might, but I don't feel like it fits. Okay, so I'm going to change that. I may use that book later, but this is how I've been doing them. Feels Like a Night on a Porch. And I had Maisie Dobbs up there, but I just don't think that's what I want. A story that values humility or kindness. Okay, that's number 10. So let's go for, this is Unreliable Narrator. I am reading this one. I'm going to put a picture of it up here. It is Villette by Charlotte Bronte. I'm reading that later this year. During my air of September. Let me move this down just a little bit. I know you can see my air conditioner, but I don't care. Okay, and then we have Comfort Your Inner Child. We stuck with Emily of the New Moon. And we're looking for Feels Like a Summer Night on a Porch. So we may just have to come back to that one. You know, being born in June, you'd think I'd had a lot of. You know what? No, I'm going to wait and see if that one, if I get like a childhood thing. Because I was going to say It would remind me of a summer night on the porch. But it's more like, because I've read it before, it would be a reread, but I am planning to reread it and get more out of it because I read it when I was really young. The Human Kindness, a story that values humility and kindness or kindness. I'm going to do The Shadow of the Wind. It's one of my 26 and 2026. The humility and kindness. All right, we're on our next 5 or 6. I have the Jamie Jo Wright book up there. I have 2 of them that I haven't read. The new one, well, 3, because I have Love and Baseball that she wrote with her daughter. Okay, romance about an older couple. I'll take her to me. Let's go with this one. I have 2 again. So I'll show you this one first. A Jane Austen retelling. And I know which one I want now that the show has come out. I know which one I want. And that'll be great for July this year. Okay, a novella. And I think I'm going to do, I think it's Notes of the Underground is a novella. Let's take both of those down at once. Okay. That one may not be a novella, but I'm going to see. I do not have this book, so I don't know why I put it in there. But it's a set in a house with secrets. That would have been good for The Curious Inheritance of Blakely House. I'm going to really have to edit this. Oh, I got a handful. I didn't mean to do that. So I got 3. Book by an Indigenous author. I know what I'm putting for that one, and I'll put it right up here. It's called Buffalo Hunter Hunter. And his name slips my mind. Is it Stephen Graham Jones? That like sounds too familiar. Let me make sure. Now we're all screaming at me if you've read it. It is Stephen Graham Jones. Wow. I started that here a while back. I will have to completely start it because I don't remember anything. A book with a quiet, eerie atmosphere, but it's not a horror novel. And the last one that I pulled out with that, I am going to leave this one as is, and I'll put the picture up here after. Leaves You Hopeful, Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. It is in my TBR spin books. And I came across Kate Atkinson because it was she had Sue Jackson from Sue Jackson, that's her channel name. She has them sitting on her bookshelf, and I saw the name, and I was like, oh, she must be a good writer. Okay, so for a romance about an older couple, I found one. Winter Solstice. Because I am reading that one, I think, in December. Okay, Jane Austen retelling. Oh, Winter Solstice is by Rosamund Pilcher. I don't know how you say it. Jane Austen retelling. I'm going to read The Other Bennet Sister. I can read notes from Underground. I guess I could attempt House of Leaves. It's on my bookshelf. So we're going to say House of Leaves. But I am going to give myself an out and swap it if I have to. Alright, so we said book by an Indigenous author was Buffalo Hunter Hunter. A book with a quiet, eerie atmosphere. I'm probably going to go for the Italian book with the Italian. And then we said Leaves You Hopeful is Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. Okay, I need 1, 2, 3 more. So we're going to go 1. Oops. I'm going to go ahead and close that one out. We're going to say Feels Like Fall and Warm Tea. That's going to be a cozy book. A fall cozy book. I like fall books. Fall is probably my favorite time of the year. right, got another one. This is number 19. A book about conscious or inner conflict. There I go with the great big tape again. And the last one from here for now is going to be this one. A book that made you reflect deeply. Lately, that's been a bunch of books. So feels like fall and warm tea. We're going to go ahead and just search. We're going to go with the picture of Dorian Gray. The picture of Dorian Gray for a book about conscious or inner conflict. I could do Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. That one sounds good. So we're going to switch the picture of Dorian Gray to the inner turmoil or the conscience or inner conflict and do Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia. I'm not going to write that out. And then a book that made you reflect deeply. Let's go with, which one am I going to think is going to be? I'm going to go with Rest and Resistance. Rest is Resistance. Yeah. Okay, let me see. I think I got to move it up just a little. Okay. I'll get my dice out. All right, so the first one is going to be across the top. The first row will be the numbers across the top. Second row will be the number down the side. So I have 2 dice. And so the first one is a 1. So it's going to be in this column. And the second one is 5. So contemporary fiction. Let me pull up Catherine Center books because I have some Catherine Center books. The Love Haters. Okay. Now, next one. A 3. So it's going to be in this column. 2. Fantasy romance. So A War of Crowns. Next one. Whoops. Okay, you can see that. It's a 4. And a 6. So it's a free pick. So I'm just going to go ahead and put The Great Alone. And I have it right here. Because I'm going to read it this summer. All right. Next one is another 1. And a 5. Another contemporary fiction. So let's go back to Catherine Center because I think I have 2 books of hers that I have not read. I'll do The Love Haters. No, I did that one. I'm going to do her, wait a minute, What You Wish For. That's the other one. Give me, I have that one over here somewhere, but. Oh, you know, instead of A War of Crowns for fantasy romance, I'm going to do a young adult fantasy romance. It's, These Hollow Vows. And I'll show it to you. Because I've had it on my TBR forever. All right. A 2. I don't think I'm going to spin the TBR prompts. And a 1. So fiction and a romance. But I'm going to read Anne of the Island. It's Green Gables number 3. We'll do a couple more of these and then I'm going back to pull up my prompts. 5. Oh, we haven't had this one. If I get library borrow, I'm going to roll again. If I get a 3 or 4, I'm going to roll again. And I've got a 6. Oh no, a pet pig. I have no treats. So we're going to re-roll. I need a 2 or a 1. Or a 5. That works. Okay, so I need to look at 2022. And we're gonna go ahead and roll again. Okay, so I got a 6 and a 1, over 500 pages. I'm going to use this book. It's Charles Dickens's Nicholas Nickleby. And it is so nice. I love this ambiance. Remarkably Bright Creatures was published in 2022. I guess I'm going to do The Children on the Hill. Or roll here for number 28. So that's a 4 and a 5. A fantasy. Okay, and I'm back. I wasn't really ready, but let me think. What kind of fantasies do I have? I have Mistborn, and I really want to read that, so we're going to put Mistborn down for my fantasy. It's raining now. All right, number 29. Let's pull her out of the jar. Okay. Oh, yeah, it's just one. All right. A sweeping Gothic classic. I think I'm going to do Rebecca. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've read it. Or I'm going to put 2 on here, which is the one that I had on here, and that was Wuthering Heights. I don't know if there's another Anne Radcliffe that I haven't put down. Let's see. Go on. Another book with 500 plus pages. I'm gonna put up here Christie. I'm due to read that one this month. All right. I think I got about 3. A Story That Ends with Hope. I didn't even go ahead. Oh, there's not 3. It's just 2. Well, I'm getting a bunch of Gothics. And originally I said I was going to read The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield, but I'm just not in the mood for that. So a dark, atmospheric literary mystery. So I'm going to have to type that one in because that's pretty specific. Okay, so a book that ends in hope, dark, atmospheric literary mystery. Jamie Jo writes The Bookshop of 99 Doors. So a story that ends in hope. I'm going to go with Between Shades of Grey. So I'm going to go with Between Shades of Grey. 2 more. A book that inspired a TV show and then set in a tropical climate. Oh, A Town Like Alice. Does 11/22/63 have a movie? It does. That's what I'm going to put down. It has a mini series. I think I'm going to put A Town Like Alice on that one. Not happy endings. Tropical climate. Oops. Alright, I have a bunch of them out here. Bronte or Bronte adjacent. I guess I gotta show it to you. A book about a character on a journey. A Gothic romance. I'm gonna read a nonfiction about the Brontes. It's called The Brontes. I'll put a picture of it. Or In the Footsteps of the Brontes. Book about a character on a journey. Oh wait, we're going to go with Gothic romance first. Look on there. Thorny Hold. For the character on a journey, I'm thinking about... Oh, I'm going to put This Tender Land. Title begins with J. a favorite of someone you admire. Who I admire. I admire my mom, but she is not real good with getting books that I want to read. We're going to go with Lee Child's Blacktop Wasteland by S.A. Cosby. Let me see what Dean Koontz has for his 5 favorite books. So I think that's what we're going to go with. We're going to go with Blacktop. I have one that's called Julia by the same woman who wrote Christie. I'm going to look up here and see. Oh, it's just Julie. That's my sister's name. That's why I bought the book. Okay. We have 10 more books to pull. 11 more books, sorry. I'm going to go right from the top. I get this one all the time. Set in a hotel, inn, or bed and breakfast. A story told over a long period of time. I'm just going to pull all the rest of them and we're going to talk about them. Unless I have one that I know immediately. Set in an African country. Those are tough. Oh, I could go with Murder in Mesopotamia. A book with a strong opening chapter. Tale of Two Cities would have been good for that one. Like, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. No, that's not it. Is it? Oh gosh, everything's falling. Everything's falling. Yes, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. Of course, that's just opening line. But anyway, I'm not going to pick it because I just finished it. Color in the title, and I am going to go with the one that I have on here, and that's White Nights by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I'm going with a lot of classics because I have my DIY literature degree. Okay, we're pulling number 45. A classic you've been curious about. You may have to ask ChatGPT about that one. A book of essays. I may not have a book of essays. I may have to pull one. A book set during a major historical event. Book about the Civil Rights Movement. Number 49. I guess I pulled both of them. Mystery featuring a PI. Private investigator. 50 is going to be told from multiple POVs, and I'm going to pull one just in case I cannot find a book of essays, because I don't remember ever buying a book of essays. A story set mostly at night. Okay, I'm going to go look these up and see what I have, and I'll come back. Probably with the air on, it's getting stuffy. Okay, when last I left you, it was raining. It's not anymore. It's only been maybe 30 minutes. Okay, so number 40 was set in a hotel, inn, or bed and breakfast. And I'm going to read, and I'll put these up here. The Enchanted April. All I know is this is about a group of women who are friends, or they become friends during their stay at this inn or bed and breakfast. Okay. A story told over a long period of time. I have two choices, and I plan to read both of them, but I don't know if I'm going to get the other one. I put on another prompt as well. So I'm either going to use Bleak House by Charles Dickens or Little Dorrit by Charles Dickens. They have very different settings and plots and feelings that are tied to them. So it just depends on what I'm feeling in the moment. So set in an African country, I'm going to read the second book in the #1 ladies detective agency, and that is Tears of the Giraffe. And this is just a small little book, and the last one was really good and I really liked it, but it's been some time since I've read it. So all right, a book with a strong opening chapter. I'm a little hesitant to put this one out there, so let me go back to, we'll do Anna Karenina or Wives and Daughters. I want to read them both. Anna Karenina is on my 26 for 2026, but I also have been wanting to read Wives and Daughters. So they both have strong opening chapters. Color in the title, I stayed with White Noise by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Classic I've been curious about, I'm going with, so it is called The Power and the Glory, and is by Graham Greene, and it is regarded as one of his masterpieces, an essential work in 20th century English. And this is set in Tabasco, Mexico during the 1930s, when the state government enforced harsh anti-Catholic laws. Book of essays, this is number 46. I'm going with Confessions by St. Augustine. Now, they're not really essays, but they are his confessions, so I'm going to treat them like essays. I actually have this one, that's why I'm going with that one. Okay, a book set during a major historical event. The one I'm going to try to use is The Killer Angels. But if I can't read that one, I'm going with The Last Chronicle of Barset by Anthony Trollope. Now, The Killer Angels is by Michael Shara, something like that. Okay, book about the civil rights movement. I do not have either one of these, but I do want to do this prompt. So I'm going to read The Warmth of Other Suns. Okay, The Warmth of Other Suns is The Great Migration. It's the epic story of America's Great Migration. It's by Isabel Wilkerson. Or I'm going to read A Lesson Before Dying by Ernest J. Gaines. Or Mudbound, which is a post-World War II Mississippi book with racial tensions leading toward the civil rights era. So this is by Hillary Jordan, and it's set in 1946 Mississippi. I am drawn to Mississippi books. Let me put that down because that's where mystery featuring a PI. I don't have this book, but I really want it after reading about it. A Morbid Taste for Bones. It is about medieval monk investigator Brother Cadfael, and it's by Ellis Peters, and that's the pen name of Edith Pargeter. Or I could do Maisie Dobbs, but I'm really thinking that I'm going to do A Morbid Taste for Bones. Okay, and the last one, number 50, is Told from Multiple POVs, and this is where I put Bleak House, but I also put Middlemarch because I'm reading them both this year. Middlemarch definitely this year. Bleak House probably this year. So that is my 50 before 50 update version that I really want to read. And not just books I was pulling out of the air. I mean, I really went through these and picked books that sound interesting, books I want to read, books I'm going to read, because the classics I'll definitely read because they're going to be on my DIY literature degree. The other books, I need to read them. So, that being said, if you enjoyed this video, as long as it was really lengthy, give me a thumbs up. And if you want more from me, you want to see more from me, click that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.